Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome.
Welcome.
Yay.
How's it going?
Great. Happy Thanksgiving week.
Yay! Short work week. Short work week.
Awesome.
That gets me pumped.
All right. Well, before we dive into this week's episode, what can you tell us?
Let's see. Not a lot to catch up on. Been really chill. Been reading a lot. But I do have a PSA about the DMV. You can make this your So Fired moment, everyone that's listening. So I went to go get my car registered this morning because it's becoming a Thanksgiving tradition for me to go to the DMV the day before Thanksgiving. And my car was on hold. So I talked to the DMV.
Your card was
the registration was on hold.
Okay.
And I was like, well, what's up with that? And and the lady was
That's not cool.
That's not cool. I'm just trying to get my already expired registration re-registered. So I talked to the DMV lady and she's like, well, you probably have outstanding toll tickets that you didn't pay for. I'm like, toll tickets? I literally never take the tolls. Like, what are you talking about? So I called the toll place and they're like,
Toll place.
expresstoll.com, everyone. Remember that.
I do have an account with them.
Yeah, I don't. So that's why I was very confused as to why I would have tolls. So I called and she's like, so you have outstanding tolls from 2021 into 2022. There was 6 of them or something like that. And you owe $160. I'm like, excuse you? When were these tolls and where was I? And apparently going out to the airport, I've been taking the toll the whole time. I don't even know how that happened. But my old address, this is the PSA for everyone.
What's the PSA?
The PSA is that when you move and you do a change of address at the U.S. Post Office, that does not apply to what the DMV has on file. So I have been getting all of these toll notices sent to my address that I lived at 5 years ago. And I was like, so what address do you have in file? And yeah, I'm like, well, I haven't lived there multiple years. And I'm just thinking, God, I'm so dumb. How do I not know this? And you might be questioning, how is she a doctor? She's so dumb.
No, we would never think that.
So you guys, make sure that you change your address with the DMV,
Good one.
not just the post office, and save yourself another $150 on unpaid tolls.
And happy Thanksgiving to the DMV.
Yes, they were actually very pleasant. Thank you.
They're good people.
Yep, so that's what I got for you.
Well done.
Mm-hmm.
I was so fired. I am making moves. I am AIing when it comes to making new friendships. Wink, wink. So I didn't like how I felt Saturday. So I promptly said, no, thank you anymore.
What happened on Saturday?
We were supposed to have breakfast
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't receive the communication that I was expecting and decided that this no longer suits me. So I said, thank you, but no thank you. Later that evening, said person came to my restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the question is, what does that move mean?
That move means that since you put that person on block, they're just trying to get to see you, to talk to you, to see where your head's at, and see what your reaction is.
Okay.
So maybe if they weren't on block, they might not do that move.
Well, they can text.
They probably think they're on block on all accounts.
Well, good for them.
But you laid down the law and you're like, no.
I'm actually very good at triggering and I'm done. So this is my wheelhouse. So that is that's my so fired in the sense that didn't feel great. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to honor myself.
I love it.
Yeah. So this week's episode is about Thanksgiving and
people sucking.
And people suck.
Yeah.
It's not just our families, it's not just our friends, but everybody across the board sucks. What can you say? What can you say about that?
Okay, so I'm getting to understand why people don't like the holidays so much.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I love the holidays. It's vacation time. It's amazing. And I was listening to this other podcast by a personal development person, and they were like, you know what? If you don't like going home for the holidays, just don't do it.
I saw that.
You only have so many holidays to do. Think about it. You're only alive for maybe 100 years. How many of those do you want to spend miserably? Like, okay, but did you think about this? The guilt trip that comes afterwards of not showing up to the
The
holidays?
emotional hangover
Oh
for
my
being like, no thanks. Because then
God.
you're going to have to see those people eventually. And they don't
Yes.
forget. And they're going to remind you, 22, you didn't come home for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I didn't go home one time for Christmas like 7 years ago, and I will never hear the end of it. They're like, "You're coming for Christmas, right? You're coming home for Christmas, right?"
What about that baptism you didn't go to?
Oh, yeah, the baptism, that I didn't get as much heat for.
But remember how hard you
Oh,
struggled
it
when
was
you were like,
very difficult because so this is like family dynamics 101 in my life, is that we're not very close, and I'm the godmother of my nephew.
whatever he is?
Yes, so they had a daughter before that, and I was not the godmother or anything. So second child around, I'm the godmother, and it's
What a
me.
good one you are.
I'm so good, and then the godfather is not my husband, it's someone on the other side of the family,
Sure.
and I'm like, "Okay, cool, but, like, why am I the godmother?" I literally, like, don't talk to anyone.
Obligatory.
Yeah.
They thought maybe by doing it, it would be a compliment and it would bring you in closer.
Yeah, but I just don't really have, like, an emotional connection to said niece and nephew.
To
Um,
family relations.
to family relations, like,
So why do you hate the holidays?
because, like, I would rather stay here in town
Yeah.
and do my own thing, or, like, me and my husband do something fun, or, like, why can't we just go on a vacation and, like, do something that we wanna do? No, because 'cause I'm gonna get guilt tripped for it.
And here's the thing.
He loves his family.
He loves his family.
Yeah.
He is one of the unicorns in this world that
Mhm.
love their family
Yeah, and he has a great family, so I understand why he loves them so much.
so much. But then you have to see him again in 6 weeks.
Well, we'll
Less
see
than
a
six, in
yeah,
like
we'll see a
4.
different side of the family in 6 weeks. So, I just, like, I don't know, there's only, like, so much small talk you can do, and there's only so much food I can eat. I'm not drinking. Like, this is a time I'm like, "Damn, I wish I was drinking."
Yeah, for sure. You want my pen? You should use this
No,
pen or an
no,
edible.
because 'cause I'll be passed out on the couch, and I'll be like, "What's
Well,
wrong with her?"
wouldn't that be fun? I hate my family too. And here's why. My brother is the devil. I'm okay with saying that. He's just a bad person. And I would like him if he liked me, but he doesn't. So he's the devil because I did my best. Anyway, so I saw him at my nephew's birthday last
Mhm.
beginning of the month. And it was like, hey, Chelsea, hey, Taylor. Bye, Chelsea. Bye, Taylor. And that was it. At least we kept the peace. Anyway, so
That's how me and my brother communicate. Yeah.
so then he texts my roommate, hey, does Chelsea and Bonnie want to come over for dessert like we've been doing all the years? He doesn't text us. He texts my roommate.
Yeah, if you want me to come over for dessert, text me.
Oh, no. We would not.
Right.
So until we got the invitation to go over to Christina's house, my mom and I were like looking for restaurants to go
Mhm.
to. Like kind of sad.
Oh, for Thanksgiving.
Mhm.
Oh.
Luckily, Christina Clutch was like, hey, please come. And we were like, fine, thank God. So I hate my family.
Well, you have a lot more reasons to hate your family. I don't hate my family. I just am not close to them, and it feels very obligatory to have to spend the holidays with people that you would not really choose to spend other days
Absolutely.
with.
And I'm already like dreading Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll
and-
sit at home
Mhm.
by myself, which I have done in the years past. Like sit in my room. So I don't have a living room. It is a shared community space that has already been spoken for at this point. So all I have is like my room. And my room is not tiny, right? So I
No, it's
can
very luxurious.
I can use it for it's a multiple space.
It's a multi-purpose room.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But needless to say, the bed is like sofa, whatever. So I'm like kicking it on there with like snacks and pies and stuff. It was very pleasant, but still
Yeah.
just the same. I'm at home. And I didn't know that I would get to this point where I hated my family. Or maybe I always
Right.
did.
Yeah, maybe you always did, and now you're just acknowledging it. I think that I've just have lowered my expectations of what the holidays. Christmas is actually honestly way more stressful than any holiday.
Oh, yeah.
Like Thanksgiving, whatever, it's gonna be it'll be good. Like it's fine. Christmas is so stressful, and I just have
Why?
to learn to lower my expectations of what's gonna happen because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like great and fun. I'm like, okay, they're gonna ask me either 0 questions
yeah.
and like not interested in anything, or they're going to ask me 10,000 questions, and I'm gonna get very frustrated
Yeah.
with like the badgering
Yeah.
of like, what are you doing? What is this? What about this? Well, why are you doing that? And like, and they always just like have this look when I respond. I'm like, was that not the right answer?
It's like judgment.
Yes.
You're like, what is that look in your
And
eye? Disdain.
disdain, or they're like, well, we don't understand that. And then I think it's more of like I have to keep on explaining all these things to them, like, ugh, so
Yeah.
frustrating.
Right.
But
No one
luckily,
ever asks anything about me.
yeah, I know. Like, I'm not even sure they know I have a podcast. Not that I want them listening to it
They
at
don't
this
even know
point,
that
but
I
like,
existed.
I know. No, they know you exist because they know you make the jackets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait till you show them the newest one.
I know. They're gonna be
I
like,
did ask Renee, are you taking it? Because
"Ooh."
if you're not, I'm going to wear it.
I'm totally taking it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, actually, you could wear it this weekend.
Why aren't you going to take it?
Well, I am going to. I was planning on it. But
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
want
yeah.
to wear
No,
it,
it's
okay.
just, no, it's fine.
Okay. But then also, this is like my strategy for getting through the holidays when people suck.
Drink.
No, because I'm not doing that anymore. You have me and my husband, we have like code words or like a look.
Yeah.
And I'm like, avocado. Oh, I could go for some avocado right now. And like, he's such a good buffer. And he
Yeah.
sees the look in my eyes of
He
like,
is.
SOS.
Yeah.
So he like swoops right in, and he is such an angel. And like,
Yeah.
he even called my mom for his birthday, and like, she chatted his ear off for like 30 minutes. I'm like, wow.
Whose birthday did he
His
call?
birthday. I'm like, well, I didn't even call my mom on my birthday. But he will just like sit there and listen.
Yeah, he's so good about
And
that.
I can just like zone out and be like, and I hear something like, yep.
I just keep walking around in the corners in hopes that no one is going to approach me
Mm-hmm.
and like pretend I have food in my mouth.
Yeah. But I know I'm probably going to get a little bit of guilt this Christmas
Count on it.
because we're going to go to my husband's family Christmas for like the first 2 days, I think. And then we're going to go to my Christmas, but then I want to go back down to where he lives because like friends are down there that I want to visit. I want to see my friends when I'm in town and hang out because it's just like, I don't know what everyone does when you go home for the holidays, but
They suffer.
we live in the
They
middle of
fucking
nowhere.
suffer is what they is.
Yeah.
What they do.
I'm
Is
on
what
like
they is.
I'm on like a technology retreat when I go back to my parents' house because we live out in the country and there's like not high speed internet all the time. So I have to use all my data on my phone and like run out, like it goes slow because we're in the middle of nowhere. I know it sounds such first world problems. Like, I can't use my phone, but like I need to do something.
Okay, in terms of like suffering
Mhm.
when it comes to family,
Yeah.
I had just this conversation this morning with my roommate as it relates to Curtis.
Mm.
Curtis threw a epic,
And who's Curtis?
my other roommate.
Yeah.
He's 26. And when he came down to the wedding in Mexico, I don't know if you remember this, but he drank too much and
Oh,
caused
yeah.
a scene. He kind of struggles with some emotional stuff. He's fine, but like if he's uncomfortable, he's gonna like punt and like cause a scene or like somehow get some sympathy, whatever.
Mhm.
It sounds bad, but that is typically how it's gone in the past. So he's still nursing the embarrassment from that experience or whatever situation back in September.
Mhm.
And so Doug's like, hey, he's probably not, he's going to go to a buddy's house and not come to Christina's. And I was like, whoa. He's like, yeah, he's still pretty embarrassed. I was like, that's exactly why he should be coming because you don't get to come off. We all fucking we're all embarrassed and you have to suffer. That's what the holidays are about. You suffer. I was like, this young man needs to know what it feels like to sit there and be miserable like the rest of us. I was like, does anybody else really having a good time? No, that's what holidays equal. It is a myth that we are all loving. That's why they make Hallmark movies for every goddamn day
Yes.
because they have trying to trick us into thinking that's what no, it doesn't exist. And I was like, well, he shouldn't have gotten so drunk and he shouldn't have embarrassed himself and the fact that he's got to put it through. I was like, he can leave after an hour like everybody else.
Mhm.
In the meantime, I was like, and he doesn't really have a lot of family. So if you're out of the equation, who's going to be with her? And I could see like in his eyes, like, okay, all right. He's like, well, he's 26. I was like, he's no more 26 than you are 60. Then I am 45. So don't be giving me numbers. Numbers don't mean shit. And all it means
Nope.
is the holidays are miserable and everyone's got to suffer equally. That's what unites people is being miserable
It is because
on that day of the year.
yeah, that is so true.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I don't think, like I can take comfort knowing that wherever you are, you too are as miserable as I am.
I
And vice
know.
versa.
Or like when we were younger, like my brother and I, we could see our mom like just like running around in circles and just being like so annoying. We're like, oh my God.
know.
And we're both like miserable together. So we have that bonding experience.
I do think for Christmas we should do an episode where we have like our miserable holiday memories. Mine was like my mom having like an epic swearing, screaming at all of us meltdown. People were going to be there in like a half hour and we're still vacuuming. And it was like, hide.
Hide.
And I think until recently, that's too why I would always be triggered by the holidays. I would get so stressed out and just like frantic and racing around before people got there. It's not the
Yeah.
case anymore. I don't even have people over. I barely
Mhm.
celebrate. So
I know. I'm trying this year to make it not so miserable and trying to reframe it a little bit that, like, okay, maybe I don't want to be there with my family, but to them, this is like everything to see me like once a
or
year.
maybe they don't even want to see you. Maybe they don't even want you there.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they're just as uncomfortable.
They act like they are obsessed with me when I'm there.
It's because they don't even know you.
I know. They're kind of like, who is this person? They're
Ooh.
kind of like obsessed, but then also aloof at the same time. Like,
Trying to play it cool. Oh,
Yeah.
let's talk about playing it cool.
yeah.
But we are going to continue this episode as it relates to not just our family sucking, but
Mhm.
people in general.
Yes.
How do you have any examples of people sucking?
As in the book I just recently read.
Oh. Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
That is a great segue. So, families suck. Okay, not all of them. Please just
No, not all of them.
Yeah.
Honestly, everyone should meet my husband's family because they're an amazing family and
So they
they're so much
renew
fun.
everybody's sense in
Mhm,
humanity.
they
Okay,
do.
all right.
I
So,
love
all
them.
right. But we're tongue in cheek right now. Families suck.
Yeah.
So there was a book written by Greg Olson, and I think it's his best work.
It's called If You Tell.
Oh, I just made a funky face. And it is a book about a mother and her 3 daughters.
And she is manipulative,
Abusive.
abusive. I don't know what kind of mental health issues she has going on.
Monsteritis.
Yeah.
She is. And she okay, so the premise is she's got 3 daughters and she abused all of them the same ways, but individually. So you know how you have siblings, right? You'll have years in between. My brother and I, for example, have 5 years in between each other. So what I experienced growing up is different than his frame of reference growing up. Like the way my mom and dad used to abuse me are different than the way they abused him.
Mhm.
All right. And I again say that tongue in cheek, but they spanked me, but they didn't spank him. They called me a whore. They didn't call him a whore. They did other things. I don't know what they were. And again,
They're
well,
like, yeah.
yeah, we really got her. And then they were like, we should ease up on him.
Yeah.
We did a doozy on her. But as it relates back to this book is the 3 daughters with years apart, they all suffered at the hands of their mother in different ways.
Mhm.
And these weren't just your average spanking, you're grounded, no phone. This was
This is like she breaks you down emotionally so hard, and she had a thing with nudity. She liked to have the kids be naked and going outside to do chores.
she chained them to the doghouse. Remember the
Yeah.
old days you had a doghouse outside? She chained them, you're that junkyard dog, and she
Uh-huh.
put the collar on them so they
Mhm.
would and then she'd make them sleep outside and she
Yeah.
would starve them to death. You guys, you should read this book because
It's insane because she didn't stop at the kids. She
No.
also killed 2 of her friends because she abused them to death, and she's giving them sleeping pills and antidepressants,
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
anti-anxiety,
and then was that her
over-medicating them.
stepson?
Cousin
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
nephew or something. Oh yeah. Just kidding. She killed 3 people. So it was she broke them down mentally so much, and it was Stockholm syndrome
Yeah.
where
Okay, yeah.
they have to love them.
No.
Their captor.
Yeah, they don't have to. They
They-
choose to
yeah,
love
they
her.
choose
They
to.
still okay. So as it relates to our family, we keep going back every year because we want more.
I
When
want
it's
more. I'm it's gonna be different. Oh, it's the same. Why do I want you to love me so much? I'm I don't love you. God damn it. Yeah, I do. Here goes the
it's
cycle again.
I know every year. And because my family dynamics are so volatile at times, I have kind of made my peace with it. I'm okay with it. But there was a period of time where I just was so desperate to be loved by them that I would keep going back. And Doug would be like, "What? Why don't you see the patterns?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? They love me." And he's like, "This literally happens every time you see them." So getting back to this book, and this is a very extreme case of where our family love blankets everything, even though and erases our ability to make rational choices
Mhm.
because we feel so compelled that bond is so deep that here these kids are. The whole time you're reading this book, I don't know about you, but I was thinking, why don't you fucking leave?
Right. I know. I'm walk out the door and be gone.
Go to school and never come back.
Yeah. Or they would try to run away, a couple of them, and then they would just come back. I'm go to that homeless shelter. Go wherever you
Stay
need
with
to
a friend.
go. Stay
Yeah.
with a friend. But they couldn't because they're but she loves us. And
Yep.
who else? It's almost who else do I have in my family?
Yes.
Because that's my mom. And this is what moms do, I guess.
Right, and they don't have any other frame of reference,
Mhm.
right? And then the sisters were kind of turning on each other, not knowing that they were all getting a similar form of abuse,
Mhm.
but the mom was kind of structuring it and like puppeteering them differently. So it was like, oh, this is my favorite. Yet she was still abusing the shit out of her, just in different ways. So for me and my brother, like I thought, oh, I got the brunt of it. He may, if I asked him, if I took the time to ask him, which I will
Mhm.
not, because I don't give a shit anymore. But if I asked him, hey, how was your child upbringing? He could tell me his stories because I have no frame of reference for that.
Right.
So families.
Yeah.
Now, this episode not just about families suck. People suck too. Strangers or people we'll just meet.
Like who?
I don't know. But wait, before we finish on if you tell,
Yeah.
if you need something to do in which you hide from your family in another room, this is a real page turner. I would
Yeah. You could
'cause
read it in
I
like a
told you
day.
to read
Yeah.
it a while back.
Yes.
It was in the beginning of this like year-long journey of reading books, and it
Mhm.
was, I don't know, I was bummed when it ended, but it was like
It was like
intense.
it was intense. I'm like, wow, it just never ends.
No.
I was like waiting. I'm like, when's
And
this other shoe gonna drop? And
this is a true story, guys.
Mhm.
This is a true story. So it's alarming.
Yeah.
It's like a
Real.
whodunit, like 2020 Dateline of epic proportion. Like this is by far the
So you'll be reading it at your family holidays and be like, I love my family. They're amazing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So read it while you're driving back to Kansas.
Yeah. Oh, I had like one other thing, but now I can't remember.
Oh, I'll tell you why other people suck.
Okay.
But I'm a big fan of people. I will always tell you I love people, blah, blah, blah. You know what? As I'm navigating this new element of my life, I don't think I love people. And here's why. How can you and I go out to dinner and have the best fucking time? And we are vibing and it's like, oh my God, we're best friends. Ah! And then it's like, yay, I can't wait to talk to you again. And then I never hear from you again. What the fuck is
Right.
that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know because it sounded like you had a great time the
I
other
had a great
night.
time. I thought we were like having a really nice time.
Did anything happen at the end where
No.
it was like awkward?
Nope.
I don't know. Like I don't know
2
the games.
hours.
I don't know the games to play.
Like, why do we? It's like, why do we have to play games? Because that's what it looks like now. It looks
Yeah.
like that. Even though we both like kind of said, oh, we're of the age where we didn't grow up with games.
Right.
Like 40-year-olds don't play games. Bullshit.
So why isn't that person either just saying like, "Oh, I had a great time. Let's do it again," or "I had a great time. Like, let's not do it again." Like, just let me know.
Just put me on notice.
yeah.
And is it only their responsibility to communicate after the fact?
Well,
Like, am I supposed to make a move?
I don't know. Like, it's almost like why should you have to make the move all the time? And who is like calling the shots in the relationship? But then,
If you knew, it's one thing when you know.
yeah,
But when you're in like doing this dance with like strangers, because they sitting on the other saying like, why isn't she calling me?
right.
It was a really nice experience. It was really fun. And I was like, okay. But it's like having a first date is like the preemptive, obligatory first form of rejection in this long line of rejection from now until when the relationship ends. It's just the beginning.
Just waiting for more rejection.
Because you are going to have more rejections, right? No relationship really lasts. Unless it's yours.
Unless it's mine.
Unless it's yours.
Yeah.
Thank God you've got somebody, like you're the only person to give us faith.
Give you some hope. There's still rom-com men out there
I know.
somewhere.
He was so hot. He had like tattoos on every knuckle. It was so hot.
Oh.
Yeah. It was kind of out of my, and that's what I like about it because I am a lot of different people.
Yeah.
I am a lot of different people. You don't know me as all the people. I mean, I think you know of me.
I know of you, but I don't know you as like, oh, I love tattoos.
Up to your neck.
Yeah.
So hot. So hot. I'm like, I'm going to get my first tattoo. It's going to be a little butterfly, right? Right here on my wrist. Anyway, I just don't understand. And then it's like, so I Googled.
She's on like Quora.com, like, why is he not texting me back? There's a myriad of reasons. You should like post that photo that they show because it's like this girl like sad and depressed waiting by her phone like this. Like.
She's like waiting. and not that I can identify. What is up with this?
Yeah. Can someone give
Am
her
I
maybe some
supposed to do
concrete
I'm not supposed to
answers?
do anything, am I? You said no.
I said no because isn't he supposed to text you back?
I don't know. Where are the rules?
I don't know. I just feel like if you are the one who has to initiate all the conversations all the time,
I
just
didn't though.
right.
I didn't.
But like if you did text him like first after the date, be like, "Oh, that was great. Let's do it again." Then you're initiating, and then he might like wait for you to initiate again after that, and you have to initiate again and again and again. Like, don't you kind of want him to?
Oh, for sure. And that's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Like
I
take the lead.
actually was talking to Jen with it, and she was like, she put it in a way in which it was like a very visualized. I saw this in a different way for the first time. So high level, watch it like it's a movie. See how this unfolds.
Mhm.
Be interested to see how this happens. In years past, I've always wanted like to be liked so badly that I did all the work. And now I'm like, let's see where this goes. Like I've never had the patience. Like I don't have the patience to like hold off on surprises. I can't I can't keep secrets. I can't do anything where it's like, oh, or someone says, don't tell this. And I'm like, oh. So it's the same way where it's like, I want to be liked. You know what I mean? And once I
Mhm.
feel liked, I can settle in. And it's like, why didn't you like me? I don't like the form of rejection because everybody likes me.
Maybe he was just
And then
like,
they're like,
"Oh,
oh, no, you were too good for him. Then I'm like, oh, this is just, he's not that into you. And I'm like, oh, you know the movie?
yeah, no,
You don't know the movie? He's just not that into you?
no."
Oh my God, please watch it.
Okay,
Only do it for me.
okay.
Because she's obsessive. And then like, she's like talking to this guy like, oh, he gave me a pen. I think he likes me. Like,
Oh,
it's really well done. Even
okay.
Jennifer Aniston's in it
Oh.
and a lot of other people whose names I can't remember. But it's like, maybe he's just not into you.
That could be it.
And it's like, why not?
But just because everyone likes you as a person doesn't mean they want to be like more than friends.
I don't know why. I am pretty great.
Well, if everyone wanted in the entire world wanted to date you and like make it a long-term thing forever and
That'd
ever.
be exhausting.
Yeah.
Okay, but so far nobody yet.
Okay, but you've only really tried with like 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. Actually, this is the first. The first one didn't
Okay.
count. The first one was like beta.
Okay, so this is like the first one. So
And it's down to it was so formal. May
yeah.
I'd like to, responsive. And then I'm like, and in my mind, it was like this person thinks I'm so great that they're doing all the right things, right? And trying to like
Right.
out of respect. And I'm like, now I'm interpreting non-actionable items. I'm interpreting
Oh.
silence.
Right. But it's also like frame of reference as to this is exactly what he should be doing and this is so much better cuz now I'm just thinking back to before I met Austin and like I dated all these douchebags and I was like, "Oh, whatever, it's fine. Like he didn't call me
Right.
back. Like, oh, it's good. Like whatever, we'll hang out later." And like I thought that was okay. And
Right.
then someone else comes along and they do like all these other things. I'm like,
Do the right things.
"Do the right things." I'm like, "Oh,
That's how I
other
felt.
those other people sucked, but I like thought that that was normal."
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that's what happened. What happened on the person on Saturday?
Mhm.
Because they say if you don't know, it's a no. If
Mhm.
you know, if it's a yes, you know, right? Like
Yeah.
you know the proper actions, and that's what I was experiencing up to this point, where it
Mhm.
was like, "May I take you out? I will make a reservation. I will see you." And we like, and then I was like, "See you soon." Okay, I'm there. I'm outside waiting, and it was just like, this is just like in the movies. I didn't know it really existed in life. And so, and I was charming. It was 2 hours and I was engaging and I like talked about them and like asked questions and like his like body language is like not on me, but
Oh.
like this on the chair.
Oh,
And I was
uh-huh.
like, I'm reading it. Okay.
Okay.
And 2 non-drinkers and just like all these things. And I was like, this is awesome. And then nothing.
Actually, you know what was a red flag though is that you felt like you had to drink coffee at 9 p.m. at night and you were unwell the next day. So
It's not a red flag. I do like coffee because it was
Just
like I
not at
bought
night,
decaf and she's
not
like,
at
just
night,
go for
yeah.
regular. And I'm like, I do like coffee because I had already said no to meat and dairy and sugar and alcohol. And I was like, I can't say no to one more thing. Like, don't be that high maintenance. Like, I did order the decaf and I was like, this is gross. You know why I like this person? Because I was like, this is gross. Try it. And he did it. Just like you. Anyway, so I think people kind of suck. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's like, ah, just tell me what's up. I would rather be like, this didn't work for me.
Exactly.
Just tell me that.
Mhm.
Or send me a ghost emoji like, hey, heads up, I'm about to do that for you.
100%.
Just do that.
Or you should text him ghost question mark.
Or like red light or green light.
Yeah.
Which one? I'm okay with
Thumbs up or thumbs
knowing. I
down.
just don't like guessing. Like that
Mhm.
drives me bananas.
Yeah. I think that's why people are out in the apps all the time and like dating multiple people at the same time. So you kind of lose track of like who's responding.
I get that.
Yeah.
And if I got distracted by somebody else and this person would circle back and then the Saturday person would
Mhm.
circle back and it's like, now I can't. In fact, that was the case. Somebody did circle back from months ago yesterday and now I'm waiting. This is just like whatever movie. I think it's all, I don't know, like
Oh, I
he's
don't
just
know.
not that into you where you're like, oh, I was stressing about somebody else and now somebody else is. And I don't know. People, I want to like them.
I know. I like people for the most part.
But you
show
don't
me
need anything
something.
from them.
True.
And I am making myself very vulnerable in a number of ways. And it's like, yo, I've already been like ran over emotionally.
Mhm.
Like, let's not do that to each other. And like we had so many, but whatever. I guess that's why we have a podcast so we can keep talking about this
Yeah.
every week.
Maybe next week people will suck less. And
I doubt it.
yeah.
I doubt it. I mean, I like people.
Right. Well, okay. If you guys are going, you went home for the holidays,
Read that killer book.
read that book. Yeah, you'll be like, oh my God,
It will put a new perspective in which you love your family.
100%.
Watch, he's not that into you.
There you go.
So you can have a frame of reference on don't care as much.
I like that.
Yeah. Care less about everybody.
And then people will suck less.
Mm-hmm.
And just lower your expectations when you go home.
Have none.
Have none. Have no expectations. Have some code words or like a look.
Avocado.
Or also, just be grateful that maybe someone's feeding you some good food.
I did have good food on Monday.
Mm.
It was nice.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. At least I got a free meal out of it.
True.
I don't even care about eating. Anyway.
Anyways, okay, make sure that you share this episode on Instagram, tag us at SoFiredPod, and also tag one of your friends that would love to hear this episode, and we'll personally thank you for sharing.
It's tough because I would tag you.
I know. And I would tag you, so I need to expand my horizons.
I'm going to text this new person. Awesome.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.